Happy New Year's, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Warframe. In today's episode, I was originally planning on, completing demos, but I remember last time I did this mission, I failed pretty badly, even with my maxed out, Warframe. So for now, I'm going to be completing missions on Venus. If you're new around here, please consider hitting the like button and also clicking subscribe. That'll be greatly appreciated. Also, I hope you had a wonderful New Year's celebration. New Year's just started, so hopefully you're still sticking to your resolutions, New Year's resolution, if you have made any. Oh, I think I've done this before and I kind of failed as well. So we'll see how this goes this time around. Hopefully something differs this time. And yeah, so if you have any New Year's resolution, that's always great, but always work on sticking to them. That's definitely important. For me, my New Year's resolution has been for a while as to be able to finish 5 books in the entire year. I've completed that 1 year. I think that was 2021 that I completed that. But unfortunately, I did fail in 2022. So hopefully this time around I will be able to complete all 5 books. I would set it like a higher goal, but partially is because I want to be a bit more consistent in being able to read 5 books first before I set a higher goal for myself. But yeah, if you do have New Year's resolution, please let me know down below what they are. Whether it's like being more fit or eating healthier. I think it's always good to be able to have something to try to set yourself, to challenge yourself to. I think it's important to challenge yourself. And obviously try to work or set your goals to be something reasonable and realistic so that you can, you won't necessarily give up all too easily. So for example, with like my 5 books the entire year, there's a total of 12 months, so essentially a book about every 2-ish months, 2.5 months or something like that, which is definitely more than reasonable to do, especially if you're reading like a novel. They can sometimes have like short chapters, or maybe even sometimes like 30 chapters, which kind of fits perfectly with how many days are, so like 1 chapter a day kind of thing. And then on top of that, 5 books, if you do kind of fall behind on one of those days, you can always, or one of the month, you can always utilize the second half of the year to catch up. So being able to set realistic goals would definitely be good and important. And I think a lot of people these days have been setting like fitness goals as usual, new year, new me kind of thing. I don't set New Year goals related to fitness just because I go to the gym almost every single day. I go like 6 days a week, doing some form of muscle work. I'm not super jacked just because my diet can definitely have some improvements. But nonetheless, I am fairly consistent, in working out, so I definitely don't need to set that as my New Year's resolution. But of course I do have like specific goals that I want to be able to achieve. For example, being able to bench 225. That is definitely a goal I'm working towards. Like my squat, my deadlifts, I've all been able to be 225. So it's just bench and overhead press that is lacking. But yeah, being able to like overhead press 225, that's probably even more impressive than like being able to bench 225. It's like yeah, shoulders, man, that ain't easy. But I'll definitely be a while before I can bench 225, just because I got like an inflammation on one of my shoulders, my left shoulders to be exact. And so as a result, you know, a lot of the push exercises, if you don't know, involves like, you know, your chest as well as, you know, parts of your shoulders, depending on like, you know, what you're doing. Yeah, so as a result, you know, I was in like a cycle of, you know, being kind of better and then still doing the exercises, and which causes like the inflammation to act up again. And then as a result, it would hurt, and then I would, you know, try to take breaks, and then it would just go into a cycle. So recently I had to like, you know, put my foot down and be like, all right, I gotta really let this heal and be better so that I can continue forward and not, you know, not injure myself further. And like thankfully it's just like a whatchamacallit, an inflammation and not like a tear, which, you know, which if I continue with where I'm at, it'll definitely have a chance of becoming a tear. So definitely important to take breaks and, you know, recuperate whenever you're injured. Oh, you disgusting thing. Spat out your pus around. Like acne stuff.
Do you
Oh,
choose to leave now
cool.
or continue fighting?
I think I will do one more. Yeah, I'll do one more.
Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
Because this one was fairly easy. A lot easier than I was expecting. I'm not sure if it is because I leveled up, but I thought I did something like this that was a bit of a struggle. Yeah. All right. Boom, boom. Boom. Nice. Ooh. Radio disarm. I have no idea what that is. I think that was it. I think if they had like a weapon, it might have been disarmed. I guess that kind of makes sense. Radio, I'm assuming like you know, a set distance near me maybe. And then disarm, as the name implies, it disarms the opponent, removing, I guess, their weapon. But like, I guess this is useless on these guys because these guys don't have weapons. Oh, I'm low. But yeah, I highly recommend, you know, setting some New Year's resolution. I mean, and honestly, you don't necessarily have to call it New Year's resolution, just goals, right? We always set goals in life, whether it's at work, in school, stuff like that. So goals are definitely important. So if like New Year's resolutions have like a negative connotation because you've you know, failed to commit in the past, and I guess, you know, change it up and call it well, it's just different goals, right? My reading goals or my studying goals. That might give like a new and different perspective. Yeah. In regards to my reading goal, I'm definitely somebody that reads fiction books a lot more than nonfiction books. Find a lot of nonfiction books to be fairly boring. You know, similar to like video games, TV shows and movies. I use books as like another form of like outlet to kind of escape the world. Just because there's too many crazy things that happen around the world. And you know, I need it because, or I need something to help get away from like, you know, real life, just because one of the things that I also like to do is like watch political commentaries, specifically the American ones, just because they're a lot more interesting. And so sometimes the things that, you know, it's being talked about is very depressing. So like it's a bit like it just definitely brings down the mood. You know, or like when you hear about what's happening around the world and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, so as a result, I definitely enjoy nonfiction books a lot more. I think I definitely got into reading a lot later. Like you know, like a skill, when the more you do something, the better you get. Like I read in school because, you know, it was required because of you know, class assignments and whatnot. But I've always been like, I'm an ESL student for a long time, and so as a result, you know, these skills like reading comprehension was definitely something that I kind of lacked. Of course, I grew up here basically. Although I wasn't born here, I basically grew up here, so my English should have been, you know, better or a bit more top notch. But yeah, there was just something about it that my English wasn't as good as it could have been. And like, yeah, I guess growing up, books was definitely not my thing. So so there's definitely, you know, some tougher books that I haven't I'm not, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm not at the level of, because like I utilize English a lot in like everyday conversations, as well as like, you know, I think in English and work in English and whatnot. So definitely to a degree that like I would understand what I'm reading, but like if you're talking about like academically, I could definitely improve. Nonetheless, yeah, currently reading like a teen fiction book called Magnus Chase, which is within the same world as like Percy Jackson and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed like the Percy Jackson series, so it's definitely, you know, fun to be able to read these things. Of course, you know, I'm an adult. Some can argue, oh, why am I reading these things? I think part of it is just so I can continuously work and improve upon my my reading comprehension and reading capabilities, as well as overall just being able to, you know, like I mentioned, use it as a getaway from reality and whatnot. And like the way that Rick Riordan writes these books and his, like, I guess in a sense, interpretation of these mythologies is definitely interesting. So it's definitely makes it helpful to be able to use that as a form of escape from whatever's happening in the real world. Aside from that, I definitely read a lot of like, you know, comics. Oh well, I guess the proper terminology would be like manhwas, which is like the Korean comics.
Unless you can handle more
Um,
of the enemy.
yeah, so I've been enjoying a lot of those, the Korean ones more so than Japanese ones these days, just because, you know, I find them to be a little bit more entertaining and whatnot. All right, I think that is a bit beyond my pay grade at the moment. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. So in terms of like manhwas, I mean, I did read like a lot of comic books before, like DC and Marvel, but the more recent ones definitely
Distract the
not.
infested while a lone town
Um,
hunts for supplies. Set off the alarms to start.
just because um
A steady stream of toxic spores is being released into the area. Hold on. Emergency life support is
yeah,
inbound.
just because I find that these days Marvel and DC has implemented, oh my gosh, a lot more political correctness within their stories, which definitely ruins the overall storytelling. You know, I'm here as a way to, as a, you know, to get away from the real life, right? I'm reading superhero stories, like, yeah, I mean, I expect some superhero action, not your political correctness and whatnot. And of course, you can, some can argue, you know, these form of art are like a reflection or imitation of what you know, real life
Life support activated.
is like, you know, like that's how art is. Art or life imitates art or something like that, right? But I think, you know, when you are writing a superhero story, yes, you can make it relatable and whatnot, but at the same time, the core of it is a superhero story. So as a result, I just kind of stopped reading it. I think maybe down the line, I might, you know, return to reading it. At the moment, I'm reading a lot of like manhwas, which is, as I mentioned, Korean comics. So as a result, I I have a good rotation throughout the entire week, and whatnot. So definitely aren't a lot of like downtime for me to read comics, and also because like
Support has been replenished.
if I like start a series, I usually try to complete it. And like at one point, I was definitely subscribed to like a lot of series. So yeah, that didn't really help. And also the fact that like whenever like a new series pops up and whatnot, I definitely you know, get curious, read it, and then sometimes I have a hard time dropping it, even though it's like I don't enjoy it as much, just because I try to, like, you know, finish these things that I start. It's a bit weird in that way, but I guess that's just how my brain overall functions. But yeah, if you do like read manga or manhwas or even like, you know, comics, let me know down below which ones you read. I have a lot. Like I can probably not like name them all
Additional life support has arrived.
that I read. But in terms of like ones that are more notable that I remember from the top of my head would be the first one is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. There's also, you know, Legend of the Northern Blade that I really enjoy. One that is currently on a break is Return. SSS. So 3 S's class ranker or suicide ranker. or no, Suicide Hunter. Oh man, it's been a while since they went on break, so I don't really remember the name. Return of the Unrivaled Spear Knight, Return of the Disaster Class Hero, that's on break currently, or yeah. Return of the Frozen Player is another one. Leveling with Gods is another one. Shoot. I'm a nerd about it. Like I have a spreadsheet that, you know, lists all the things that I read, and as well as where I'm currently at. So like I can really, you know, list out a lot. But for the sake of you know, not boring people, I'd stop there. And within like the Korean culture, you know, game like VR games is definitely a popular story element. Another one would be like isekai. I think that's the term. Isekai is Japanese, I think. I could be wrong. Hit me for it. But like the idea is like the individual, the main character, you know, gets transported to like a different world. Like it's yeah. Muram is also kind of popular, as well as like, you know, tower stories where there's like a tower trial that you complete to get stronger and whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, all of this to say, like I read a lot of like, you know, Korean manhwas. I gotta read more fiction books. You know, improve overall my read. Let's do one more mission. Let's do a Grenier one. I mean, Void Relic one. Ooh. So, you know, in terms of books that I've finished reading, I've read the Harry Potter series. I've read the Percy Jackson series. Oh, this is the domination game. Yeah, so Percy Jackson original series, and then Roman Gods version, which is like the next 5 books after that. I've also read books. I forgot what it was called. It's the Insurgents, Resurgence, and something like that, where one of the characters' name is like 4. Yeah, like I forgot what the series is called, but like it's like Resurgent. Divergent, I think, is also another name for it, or one of the books. That one had a bit of like a disappointing twist, not gonna lie. But I've also read, I'm trying to think of like other series that I've read before I dive into individual books. Similarly, that's also in like you know, my Kindle app, so I don't really have them at the top of my head. I'm trying to think. One thing that I do, one of the series that I want to read would be Lord of the Rings. I haven't read that before. I also haven't read Chronicles of Narnia. That's also another one that I want to read. I actually have all the books for Chronicles of Narnia. I read part of whatchamacallit, Space Odyssey. That was one of the ones that really hurt my brain, and it's interesting and like not interesting at the same time. Like I love space, and like, you know, the book is about space travel, but at the same time it's like it's about like space travel, like at its core, just people living on like a spaceship kind of thing. So it's like, I think, like a classic series. And I think it's one of the things where if I improve like my my reading comprehension, I might have a better understanding of it. Obviously I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I've read Thief Lord, I believe that's what it's called. Or yeah. I've also read like as a kid I've read the Inkheart series. Of course, probably didn't understand fully when I read it as a kid, so definitely something that I gotta re-explore. I've read, or I hope to read, like the James Bond series or James Bond books, as well as Sherlock Holmes books. But of course, books. Oh crap. Books aren't cheap, and even though I think, I sometimes think that Kindle books could be a lot cheaper than like what they're currently priced at for certain books. Yeah, but I don't really control the pricing and whatnot. I also read a lot of like the only like non-fiction books I really read are like related to religion, specifically Christianity and whatnot. Yeah, so books like that, or other types of books like that are I guess the only non-fiction books that I really read. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so as a result, yeah, I don't really read a lot of like fiction books all too often. I mean non-fiction books, sorry. Bro, thank you. Honestly, as I capture these things, I should bring up my app.
You have captured a radio tower.
And I also do more Kindle or digital stuff than like physical books, because I have a hard time, keeping books in like a proper conditions and whatnot. Oh, nice. Another series that I want to read would be like the Dan Brown series, which is like the Da Vinci Code, Origins, stuff like that. Maze Runner is also another series that I want to read. I don't have all the books yet, and similarly to how like I like to complete everything at once, I like to complete all the books at once. I gotta stay just because I haven't completed. I don't think I completed my thing, right? Yeah, I don't think I completed my thing. Tom Clancy is also another series that I want to read.
This tower is ours now. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant.
1984. Red Rising series. I'm pretty sure I watched a movie for it. One second, let me kill these guys. Oh, this guy's tanky. Oh,
The enemy has all 4 towers. You
really?
must stop them.
Yeah, I have all the team spawn books. You know. So want to read that as well, which I mentioned. Oh my gosh. Why is this so much harder than first time around?
Tower captured. Beginning stream decode now.
Oh, B's enemy is already that far ahead.
This tower is ours now.
Nice. Oh, Aragon is another series that, you know, I've saw was popular growing up. Yeah.
You have captured a
Oh, I also have like a lot of actually I have a lot of books like saved in like my Goodreads. Actually, not my Kindle, just because, you know, some of them, like I mentioned,
The enemy
haven't
had
been
taken a tower.
completed in
Must
terms
be
of the
captured.
series.
Tower online.
Yeah. Alright, I need to kill more of you guys so I can unlock my fisherman. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I am gonna die. Give me health. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you guys can have a... trying to live here. Hey yo, drop your reactants, fam. Oh, damn it. Drop your reactors. Ooh, there's one over there. Yeah, so definitely a lot of books I want to read. Gotta be able to really work on managing my time. You know, sometimes like playing games could definitely take a lot out of your time.
Control of a tower.
It's like, you know, YouTube and whatnot, and social media can just drain a lot of your time. Being able to manage your time properly, to be able to, you know, even if it is like a chapter, sneak in one chapter to read and whatnot. 5 reactants. Come on, give me more, give me more. Cool, let me finish capturing the... oh, they recapped D. Darn, darn, darn. Bro, where did the guy go? Capture D.
Tower captured. Beginning stream decode now.
Hello. Come on, 4 more. Definitely don't think I finished the first one. Is this D? No, this is C. Wait, what the heck? How did they capture C? Oh, I guess because they had more people than me. That's why they captured C.
Tower online.
Come on. Drop more reactants, my guy. Nice, that was cool. Although they are almost at 100. Oh, I think I lost. Damn, that is
Tower
tough.
lost. enemy is dominating. You must capture a tower, and quickly. The enemy have captured the message. We have failed today.
Oh, does that also fail my first part? I think that also fails my first part. That's unfortunate. But I rank 14 on my Loki. That's not too bad. And I think I'm almost maxed out on my bow, so I can then switch my sword. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it at for today. If you have enjoyed, please consider hitting the like button and also clicking subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. You are loved. Until next time, goodbye for now. Peace.